Today across Southern California in LA County, the average price for a gallon of regular is $5.63. In Orange County, it's $5.60 and $5.51 in Riverside. Of course, those prices are much higher than the rest of the country. I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you've been talking to family members somewhere else, in part because of the California gas tax. Now some lawmakers and candidates for governor are trying to change that. NBC4's Conan Nolan is in the newsroom to explain. Conan, you know, I heard this proposal this morning and thought, wow, this would be so helpful right now. But could we see an impact? And what are the chances this actually goes through?
A, you would see an impact. B, the chances are not very likely. The California legislature, Democrats dominated. They're unlikely to change the rules when it comes to the gasoline tax. In the past, they've offered a refund for low-income Californians, but the tax itself stays in place. It didn't take long for the surge at the pump to become an issue in the campaign for governor.
I'm calling on our state leaders to temporarily suspend our gas tax and provide relief to those who need it most.
Democratic gubernatorial candidate Matt Mahan, the mayor of San Jose, and fellow candidate Antonio Villaraigosa, the former mayor of Los Angeles, calling on the California legislature to cut gas prices by, for the time being at least, eliminating the state excise tax.
We have the highest gas prices in the United States of America. And with this decision to go to war in Iran, gas prices are going up.
Economist Severin Borenstein of the Energy Institute at the Haas Business School says gas sold in California is normally at least $1.50 more expensive than the rest of the nation.
About $1 of that is due to the higher taxes we have, the environmental fees we have, and the fact that we use a cleaner burning gasoline, which has helped clean up air quality quite a bit in California.
Due to the disruption of oil markets as a result of the war with Iran, the average price in the state as of Monday is an eye-popping $5.52 per gallon. Of that, approximately 61 cents is the state excise or gas tax, which is used for road repair and Caltrans projects. Most of the legislature oppose the gas tax suspension as they see it as robbing the state of needed revenue. In a statement, Governor Gavin Newsom's office referred to gas taxes as fixed costs that do not fluctuate with the market and have nothing to do with the price spikes that Americans are experiencing. But with no end in sight for the war and continued crisis in the world's most consequential oil transit chokehold, the Strait of Hormuz, pressure for the state to do something may only increase.
13 gallons, $88.
I don't know how Californians can afford it.
If the conflict drags on and we start to deplete the inventories we're using now, it's possible that prices could spike quite a bit higher.
Other candidates for governor also calling for suspension of the gas tax. Chad Bianco, the Riverside County Sheriff, and Steve Hilton, the former Fox News host. I'm Conan Nolan, NBC4 News.
So let's continue talking about these gas prices. In News for Your Money, we're continuing our series, Fill Up for Less, as we look to help you save money at the pump. Remember, you can scan that QR code on your screen to tell us how you've been saving on gas and then, of course, report prices in your neighborhood. So today, our series takes us to Van Nuys, where a gas station owner is offering a free drink for people filling up.
The customers are very happy because now his gas price is very high. We are getting a lot of customers, the new customers coming from different places. In the whole valley, we are the cheapest price.
Because typically it is the lowest one in the area. There is another one that I go to, like in Burbank area, that's a little bit cheaper, but yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to tell you where that gas station is, plus more tips on how to save wherever you stop to fill up across Southern California. Our Camila Rambaldi has that full report coming up on the NBC4 News at 4. You certainly don't want to miss that. Meantime, Iran is asking to move its World Cup matches from the U.S. to Mexico just months before the World Cup matches are set to begin. Iran was set to play a number of matches, including one at SoFi this summer. But just last week, Iran's sports minister called for his team's matches to be canceled completely. Then today, Iran's embassy in Mexico said the country is now negotiating with FIFA to move the matches to Mexico after President Donald Trump discouraged the team from attending the tournament because of safety concerns. FIFA did respond, saying it is working with all participating teams to keep the original schedule in place. Meanwhile, U.S. and Israeli strikes continue to pound Iran. The United States Central Command released these videos showing what it said were strikes on military targets. The war is now in its third week, and President Trump's decision to strike Iran is coming under more intense scrutiny. One of his longtime supporters stepped down from the administration's intelligence team. NBC's Julie Sirkin explains why.
The reasoning behind the United States war with Iran appears to be shifting again. President Trump in the Oval Office today saying the strikes that began more than 2 weeks ago were necessary to keep Americans safe.
Iran was a threat. Every country realized what a threat Iran was. The question is whether or not they wanted to do something about it.
But the now former chief tasked with counterterrorism efforts disputes that. In a social media post announcing his resignation, Joe Kent says Iran posed, quote, no imminent threat to our nation, and claims the president was drawn into war by Israel. Trump says he's glad Kent is leaving his administration.
When somebody is working with us that says they didn't think Iran was a threat, we don't want those people.
But Britain's national security advisor is backing up Kent's claims, telling The Guardian Tehran made a, quote, surprising offer in the final round of nuclear talks that he believed would have prevented the war. Trump says the U.S. doesn't need the help of the U.K. or any other NATO allies.
They don't want to help us, which is amazing. I mean, amazing. And I didn't do a full court press because I think if I did, they probably would be. But we don't need help.
The new questions surrounding the start of the war come as Trump has reportedly avoided negotiating an end to the fighting. 6 people with knowledge of the plans tell NBC News President Trump is presented regularly with options to end the war, but so far he hasn't acted. Democrats say the Trump administration is bracing for an open-ended conflict.
It seems like they're always a few hours away from hanging the next mission accomplished sign around here, and we continue to suffer, and now we're going to be stuck with the bill.
As the war continues with no clear end in sight, Israel is vowing to continue to target top Iranian regime leaders, announcing that a strike overnight killed Iran's top security official Ali Larijani and the head of a key militia. In Washington, Julie Sirkin, NBC News.